G'day everyone and welcome to another edition of EFL TV. Big weekend in the Eastern Footy League, Divi 3 and 4 finals as well, and Divis 1 and 2 just washing up the last round before we get into finals action. Joining me as always is the number one lady in the Eastern Football League. Her name is Lauren Wood. She joins me again. G'day Loz.
Great to be back, Half.
Now we had some issues during the week. We had some publicity for all the wrong reasons in the Eastern Footy League and probably need to make comment on that.
Yeah, we certainly do. I mean, we love to have a bit of fun in here with EFL TV, but it is time to get serious. We did get a bit of coverage. We had an incident of racial vilification on the weekend down at your mighty Baldwin Tigers. Funny about that. But it is certainly something that we're very concerned about. It is very serious, and it's certainly something that we don't like to see. We would like to let it be known to everyone that it was solved on Monday evening with a conciliation between the two players that were involved. So they've reached an agreement between themselves, and that's going to remain completely confidential. So that clears that up. We did have an incident with a spectator with some, I guess you'd say a performance from the boundary line that was what we would call deplorable. Yeah,
it was atrocious, that's what it was.
It really was. So that's being dealt with at the moment, and we're hoping that'll be resolved pretty soon. But we do hear about that there's a low number of these incidents, but for us, I guess you could say that one's too many. It's just not on. So it's something that, as Phil will mention later on, the police will be out and about for abusive behaviour or indecent behaviour throughout the finals. So it is really something that we want to put out there to everyone, that it's just not going to be acceptable in the Eastern Footy League. Every club does have a racial and religious tolerance officer that's been nominated by their club. So they're basically there to provide advice, promote that tolerance and prohibit such, I guess you'd say, unacceptable conduct. So they're there to provide, I guess, a means of redress for victims, and we really encourage everyone to support their efforts, particularly coming into the finals. So it's just not on.
A fair point. I think there's any grey area before the weekend's actions, then hopefully it's all very much. I'll get that out in a second. All very much clear what is expected of our EFL crowds, and not only just at the footy, but at the workplace or with your mates.
No matter if you work or play, it's just not on.
It's not just the footy, but it's everywhere. So we've learned our lesson on it, that one. Now we need to talk finals because it is finals week. We can get on to some serious footy matters and really enjoy the Eastern Footy League for all the right reasons. Tell us about the details for finals time.
That is. So there's a few changes once it gets to finals. For adults, it'll be $13 at the gate to get in, so rather than the usual $7. But I mean, you're going to see some fantastic footy, so it's certainly worthwhile.
The cream.
Exactly. Come grand final day, that'll get bumped up to $15 with the extra $2 going to the Blue Ribbon Foundation. So it's certainly a great cause. Concession will be $7 for the finals leading up to the grand final, $9 on grand final day. So that's pensioners, Veterans Affairs cards, all those sort of things. And it is free for kids under 16s. So it's certainly a great day out. Yeah, exactly right.
Bring their kids along. And you can also listen to 98.1 Radio Eastern twice this weekend.
You can. We've got a double header this weekend, I guess you'd say. So we've got Ferntree Gully and Heathmont on Saturday from 1 o'clock. Good. And then Baronia and Templestowe for Divi 3 from 2 o'clock on Sunday.
Excellent. Looking forward to the coverage on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
Now, there's a few things.
What?
I forgot.
What have you done?
With the finals.
Yeah.
No dogs and no alcohol. And there is limited parking at some of the grounds, so make sure you keep that in mind.
And get there early. Yes, I've experienced that myself, Loz, a couple of times. Get there early or it's a long walk to the ground at times. Now, the EFL TV competition, we love them. Competitions at efl.org.au. The code word coming up later on in the show.
What are we winning? Well, this week, we've got a season pass for the finals.
I've got it here.
You have.
Look at that.
So that could be, if you're an adult, it's worth up to $120. So it'll get you into every final. So, as we said before, $13 each week and then $15 for the granny. So you could save yourself $120.
Fantastic.
Make sure you look out for the code word. But we've got a couple of winners from last week who have collected themselves a $30 Hog's Breath voucher. So if your name's on the screen, we get to do it again.
Cool. I love this stuff.
You've won a $30 Hog's Breath voucher, so I'll be in touch.
Good stuff. Great stuff from you again, Lauren. We love catching up with you for good and bad reasons. But just getting you on screen is a good result for everyone out there in EFL TV land. Great to see you. Do it all again next week.
Thanks for having me.
Lauren Wood from the Eastern Football League. Time to catch up with the EFL's footy ops manager, Phil Merton. G'day, Mertz.
G'day, Half. How you going?
I'm going very well. As we mentioned, it's finals time. What happens at finals time? There is probably an increased scrutiny on everyone in the game, everyone involved in the game, isn't there?
Yeah, certainly. And I think sort of what we've seen over the last couple of weeks is that the level of interest in local footy, particularly when unfavourable things happen, is pretty high. So we need to make sure that everyone on and off the field's doing the right thing. So, yeah.
So what does it mean on the field?
Yeah, look, certainly we've got bigger crowds and we've got more umpires and ground managers at ground, so we take a lot more look into what's happening on the ground a lot more, so making sure that the drink carriers and the trainers are doing the right thing. Yes. Also that the clubs have got the right number of officials in the coach's box. So
what is that number for those who don't know?
4 in the coach's box, and they can only have a combined total of 6 trainers and drink carriers, and we want to make sure those guys are only on the ground when they need to be and aren't standing on the wing, getting in the way of players and getting on and off the ground. So they're the kind of stuff that we look out for.
Has that been an issue in the past? Too many people on the ground?
Yeah, it has been. I mean, the reality is that with 36 players and obviously 6 combined drink carriers or trainers, there is the chance for an extra 12 officials to be on the ground.
Yep.
You add that to, as I said, the 36 players and the umpires, and it can end up being a lot of people on the footy field. So we only want the players on there who are the ones putting on the show, so the other officials can get on and get off as they should.
What about the issues off the field?
Yeah, look, certainly we think EFL clubs have done a great job over the last few years in terms of educating their supporters about the expected standards of behaviour.
Yep.
We know this year that there will be an active police presence at grounds, and they'll be looking for people who are either using inappropriate language or behaving in an inappropriate way, and there is the potential for on the spot fines to be delivered. So we just want everyone to come along, enjoy the finals footy, but if you want to be an idiot, stay at home, and we'll have police and security and EFL officials around the grounds to make sure that we're creating an environment for everyone to come along to.
No idiots and play by the rules.
Exactly.
Pretty straightforward. Okay, well, we can do that. We can do that at the EFL Finals. Good luck, Mertz. Hope it goes well for you.
No worries. Thanks, Dave. Good luck to you on the weekend.
Thank you very much. Might need it. Phil Merton from the EFL. Time now to talk some footy because it's a big week, particularly for Division 3 and 4 that are kicking off the finals campaign. Division 1 and 2, some big games as well. And help me out, the number one man in the EFL's media team, Benny Waterworth. Benny, welcome back.
Thank you, Half. Good to be back. I said it a couple of weeks ago that I'm so excited I just can't hide it. Well, I think I'm just about to explode, I should say. So maybe when I get out of here, I'll probably explode.
Don't explode. We need you as part of the team, mate. Just keep it together for a little while.
See what
if
I can
you
do.
can. Big game coming up in Divi 1. Blackburn taking on East Burwood. Now, a few things have to go the Rams' way, but they can play finals.
They can, but they just simply have to win this game. No exceptions if they want to play finals. They run into a Blackburn side that was extremely disappointing last weekend, half against Scoresby. 160 points Blackburn conceded, 60-point loss, very un-Blackburn-like loss. East Burwood's Guernsey colours are dark blue and white, but it's all been ivory in the last couple of weeks because James Ivory has been named the best player for East Burwood for the past 3 consecutive weeks. He's in awesome form. I just think that Blackburn will want a bit of revenge from last week's loss. I think East Burwood might be kissing their finals hopes goodbye.
Okay, so a Blackburn win in Divi 1. It's not a bad result for the Mighty Born Tigers,
No,
that
it's
one.
not.
Division 2, a very, very big game because Roval taking on Bayswater, and the winner gets second spot.
Remember EFL TV episode 2, Half, when we said Mac versus PC? Remember that?
Yeah.
Well, I think we can almost go a step further and say something like Puma versus Adidas or Adidas, if depending on what side of the eastern suburbs you come from. It's an absolute massive game for these two sides. Second spot on the ladder. Double chance is on the line here. Interesting to see where Brent Jane, of course, the really good Bayswater defender, where he plays, whether he plays forward. I think he might have to play back on Cody Morris, though, who's kicked 73 goals this season. At Seabeck Oval, I just think the Hawks might be a little bit more hungrier than the Waters this weekend. I think Roval might earn the double chance.
Okay, big weekend for both those teams. Good luck to the combating teams in Division 2. Division 3, as I mentioned, a kick-off in the finals campaign. And the second semi is an absolute beauty. 2 teams were in stellar form last week, North Ringwood and Doncaster.
Certainly. Always a big game between these two sides. 25 points is the combined margin that North Ringwood have won by so far this season. North Ringwood went out in straight sets last year.
Ooh,
I
don't bring that up.
don't think that's going to happen again, though. I hope I haven't mozzed them, but I just think that North Ringwood, there's no reason to tip against them this year. They've been awesome, so I think North Ringwood will go through. And
the first semi, Baronia v Tempe. Baronia disappointing last week. As with Tempe, last roll of the dice for both teams.
Absolutely. An elimination final. The loser goes, can kiss their season goodbye. I don't know if Templestowe are ready for a win in Division 3. They've only been there this year. Don't take anything away. They've been awesome, but I just think Baronia have been around in Division 3 for a little bit longer, maybe a little bit wiser. Think they might go through to the next round.
Okay, that's the action in Divi 3 this week. Divi 4 also finals. The qualifying final, Ferntree Gully take on Heathmont. It's going to be a beauty.
Certainly is. Ferntree Gully, just the off-field issues that we all know about, I think have come at the wrong time, the worst possible time, a couple of weeks out from the season. And Heathmont, those half forwards, Lee Odermatt, he'll enjoy me saying his name on EFL TV, Lee Odermatt and Robbie Savoury, they'll be up and about across half forward, and I get the feeling that Heathmont we'll probably get the chocolates on the weekend.
Okay, good luck to both teams. And elimination final in Divi 4, the Basin taking on South Belgrave. It's going to be an excellent game, I reckon.
All of these games are excellent.
Well, you're right. It's finals footy, but it's going to be excellent.
It certainly is. These two teams are very evenly matched on paper. The big matchup here is down in the South Belgrave forward line. Alex Bacons versus Todd Power. Big matchup. Whoever gets on top offensively there, whether it's Bacons kicking goals or Power off half-back setting up a lot of scores, will win the game. I get the feeling Todd Power, he's not a fossil, but he's a veteran of this Eastern Football League.
Fossil.
I think he might be able to get on top of Bacons, set up a lot of scores, and I think the Basin might progress.
Good luck to both teams in those games, Divi 4 finals there. Now, Radio Eastern game of the week has got 2 this week. We heard that before from Loza. I'm looking forward to hearing you on that 98.1 Radio Eastern. Good luck, Benny.
You
are the number 1 commentator in town.
Oh, jeez.
Can't wait to hear you on SEN as well. Speaking of competitions, he won the SEN commentary competition. If you want to win the season pass to the finals in the EFL, all you have to do is email the code word, which is finals, to competitions@efl.org.au, and you can walk away with this baby, which is worth up to about $120 if you're a adult version. So good luck at the on the weekend for all the teams competing in the finals, and for the teams that are just trying to stay in survival, as there are in Division 1 and 2 as well. Have a great weekend. Keep it nice out there in EFL, and we'll see you next week.